Ed Goines show on video, and some of you may have seen Ed Goines show live. Ed, in 3 minutes, your take on Gene Upshaw, who's been roundly criticized for saying that he was going to break the neck of a famous NFL Hall of Fame player. What do you think about Gene Upshaw?
Well, I would
You're probably sick of talking about it.
Yeah, well, no, you know, I think Gene, as an executive for the NFL Players Association, has been a good executive. I think that he's tried to be very thoughtful, tried to be very well advised from the league, from the players, and from the outside influencers, being the corporate sponsors and networks, to understand the big picture. And I think that he does. And I think many execs, or the other execs from the other leagues, may have different agendas, may have a different, and do have a different economic ballpark to work in. So
you told me a story about a 49er player who passed away recently, and that was how you had the opportunity to mix with Mr. Upshaw. Can you tell us, our viewers, about that?
Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, it was well reported, there was tragically a death of one of the NFL players, Thomas Harrion, who died after a preseason game in Denver. And it was the first time ever, at least that people can remember, that a player has actually died either on the field or just off the field. And so it was a watershed event for the league and for the association to know that one of the players had passed away. So everyone wanted to find out what's going on, and is this something we should be concerned about? Certainly about his death, but is this a trend? And I think once that was figured, once it was determined it was a rare situation, it was just remarkable how both, not just Gene Upshaw, but also the commissioner at the time, Paul Tagliabue, came out to San Francisco to the memorial for Thomas Harrion, and we flew out the family of Thomas as well. And how compassionate Gene was to the family, toward the family, and making sure that they had everything that they needed to be taken care of during this time, and to the rest of the players, going around and making sure that each of the players understood the loss, and also that there's resources out there to talk about the loss and to get over it. He just showed a compassionate side that I didn't see out of many execs.
Question for you, a little bit of a different one, same subject. Does the NFL owe anything to its older players? To players that have played in the past?
I think it does. I think the NFL and the PA both owe something to the ex-players. I can't tell you what that is numerically.
Okay, but why do you think they owe? Why?
Well, I think they owe because, but for the past players, that brand, that shield, the NFL shield, would be a new sort of trying to make its way.
Like the XFL.
Like the XFL.
Or the UFL, which is good at that.
Perhaps.
Never good. We'll never make it out of the list.
Perhaps. I'm not going to opine on that, but I'll tell you that there is something to longevity. There's something to having been there before, having that brand, those franchises, whether the AFL merger or even before, having such a 30, 40, 50-year history makes a difference in the impression of older people, but also youngers who've watched their parents cheer for the 49ers or others. So I think they owe something. What I can't do is tell you how much they owe, because today's player makes a lot of money. Yeah. Today's players make a lot more, millions of dollars than the others did, and therefore they contribute a lot more to their pool.
What about the observation, or my observation basically, is that we're in a digital age, and now it's possible to look back 40 years, 50 years, to see what a player with the Detroit Lions did, and maybe you can make a game based on what that player did, or maybe you can say, hey, I wonder how Terrell Owens would stack up against Fred the Hammer Williamson, right? Don't we owe something to Fred the Hammer Williamson if we make a game or a digital comparison like that? Doesn't that change the game?
Well, I think that there's a couple of responses to that. One is that, what does the CEO of IBM owe to the CEO of IBM?
I knew you were going to bring that up. Okay, fine. Here's my response to that. My response is that, who cares about seeing the CEO of IBM 50 years ago on television, right? But, by comparison, a lot of people care about seeing Dick Butkus That's.
I think
You
seeing.
can tell me I'm off my rock.
Well, I think. Well, here's the deal. Because I think, but for the CEO or the crack engineer from IBM 50 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today. And so, the point is that you wouldn't be able to. If I'm the CEO or whatever executive, I use IBM, but any other company that's had a history like that, the knowledge base, the foundation was laid there for you to make the tens of millions of dollars that those CEOs make.
Too true.
So I think that the idea is that you don't care from a fan standpoint. I don't care who that guy was, but I sure as hell care that he did what he did or she did what she did, because but for that, we wouldn't have what we have today. And that's what. But I don't care.
And it's your show, but I have to disagree with you.
Okay. Please do. I mean, I hate this to be a monologue. So.
Oh no! The only reason I do is because if you take the pictures of Joe Maine from the past, and they sell.